Being called to order, please rise for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Okay, Mr. Person.
Here.
Ms. Switchy.
Here.
Mr. McIrvin.
Here.
Ms. Perez. Mr. Pavoni.
Here.
Mr. Corman.
Here.
Mr. Prince.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, one absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Prince.
I move we excuse the absent council member.
Second.
Moved that Councilmember Perez be excused. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Administrative report.
Thank you, Mayor Person. Good evening, City Council. Two items for the council this evening. First of all is it's the beginning of July, so we have the 4th of July celebration occurring with fireworks and festivities at Jean Coulon Memorial Beach Park. Schedule of events include opportunities for everyone, including a volleyball tournament, a kids' activity zone, live music, and dance performances. The official welcome is at 7 p.m., and the fireworks display will start at 10 p.m. For more information, you can visit the city's website at rentonwa.gov/July 4th. And the second item this evening is another reminder that on Saturday, July 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Piazza Park, we have the third annual Cruise the Loop celebration occurring that evening. You may register your car to cruise prior to July 6th for $30 or $40 the day of the show. The next day, Sunday, July 7th, you can return to Renton Benefit Car Show from 10 to 4 p.m. at the Piazza Park. This weekend, you're welcome to come out and check out classic cars, have food and drinks, and enjoy live music. Again, rentonwa.gov/, and in this case it would be cruise, or go to returntorenton.com for more information. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is audience comment. When I call your name, please come forward to the podium. Here on the left, that'll be your right, my left. And notice the timer by the city clerk. It has a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. And you have 5 minutes. It'll go from green to amber in 4 minutes. And then when it hits red, you're done. With that, the first speaker is Jason, I think Michael something. I can't hardly read your writing, so.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm sitting out back of Jimmy John's in the Fred Meyer parking lot this week, right? And all the radios are going rah, 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 right? And like to the point where the manager of Fred Meyer comes out and says, I'm gonna sue the police department. And like I don't know what's going on, but like it would be really nice to like be in my city without hearing radios going by me doing weird things, all right? And like when it stops, when the manager of a business determines that they're gonna say out loud that they're gonna sue, it really bothers me that it all of a sudden stops. And I don't know, but like another thing is like I've been held for 3 competencies, and I've been up here, I've said this before. When you ask a police officer what RCW stands for, you should at least know what the acronym actually stands for. Like this morning I woke up and told I gotta leave, and when I ask that, I get told it's the revisionary code of Washington. And so that's like not acceptable. If you're a police officer, you should know what RCW like it's just like don't they take like a class on that? I don't care if you've been a cop for 32 years, you should know that. But I don't know what's going on with the radios. I'm normally writing down things that are hopefully will help in the future. There's no reason for radios to be doing weird things around me, period. All right? I don't know what's going on, but it'd be nice if you looked into this and tried to figure out what was going on, because there's no reason for one individual to be harassed no matter where they are, to the point where we're taking over radio frequencies and running things through them, all right? I don't know. Does anybody know anything about this? Has anybody heard about this? No? Okay. Well, maybe you should ask somebody about it in the police department, because it stopped right after they said it.
Thank you. Next up is Carl.
Evening. I live at 703 South 32nd Street, Renton. And Harley Davidson boys keep making noise in the middle of the night with their motorcycles. Don't know if they're down there running on East Valley Road, or if they're running around on Talbot now. You can hear them all the way up to the Benson. They just seem to have no respect for anybody who wants to sleep in the middle of the night. And the other thing is the tow yard up there by Valley on Talbot, are they shutting that down? I noticed they hold a big motorhome out of there this weekend. Do anybody know anything if they're shutting it down or if they're legal there now?
I think you're talking about Skyway Towing, and Skyway Towing has sold that property to another business that will be going in there.
Another tow yard?
No. Be something that goes 9 to 5.
Oh, another apartment building, office space. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff? I think, Jeff, if you want to, Jason will help you at the table here.
Council members, I'm here before you again to plead for my carport. I have gone through the permit process as I was advised by the city attorney after my hearing, where he told me the council wants me to go through the permit process. On Friday, I received a denial of my permit and reasonable accommodation request. Their ruling is completely flawed. They are not acknowledging the fact that I am unable to get both vehicles in the garage and be able to get my wheelchair and self out of the car. I have offered to demonstrate this fact and have offered them use of a wheelchair so they can show me how to do it. They don't seem to understand the necessity of having immediate access to electrical panel, hot water heater, and water shut-off valve, which is denied me with the vehicles in the garage. Every homeowner should have immediate access to these components. They claim that I have chosen to use my garage as a wood shop and storage area instead of a parking area. They say that I can build a wood shop in my backyard. The garage is the only practical place for the wood shop. I can get a sheet of plywood out of my truck and into the garage and to the table saw. I can't get a sheet of plywood all the way to the shop in the back of the yard. Again, I offered the use of a wheelchair so they can show me how to do it. They claim that it is not necessary to allow the carport to encroach onto the setback to afford me equal opportunity to use and enjoy my dwelling like everyone else in the neighborhood. Yet, most of the households use their garage for storage and such other than parking space, which they are denying me. The people who use their driveways to park their vehicles can get out and into their homes in bad weather much quicker than I can, and they can walk through snow when more than 2 inches of snow is a problem for me. They claim the carport conflicts with the character of the neighborhood, yet I submitted a survey I took of most every household within a block of my home, which everyone replied that the carport is not a detriment to the neighborhood and agree with the reasonable accommodation request. Everyone likes the look of my property. I regularly get compliments on my property by the people who walk the neighborhood and people who drive by. I have paid the penalty for applying for a permit after constructing the carport by paying double, $626.37. I accept responsibility for that. I also had to pay an engineering firm $3,970 to confirm with the manufacturer of the carport, Versatube, that it can withstand a 20-pound per square foot snow load and 150 mile per hour wind. The city would not take the word of Versatube. They would not take my permit application without the engineering calculations. I believe the city of Renton is directly responsible for my forced move from 330 Park Avenue North, in that the city would not issue permits to build the Satori Elementary School with my house still standing, insisting the school district must purchase all the properties on that block. I had to give up my home I spent my whole wheelchair life, 26 years in, and had set up for me to remain independent for the rest of my life, for the good of the community. The city has the ability to grant the carport by means of a reasonable accommodation request. I am asking the council to grant the permit for the carport and end this horrible experience. They say I can appeal the decision in writing and pay a fee, which I will do if I have to. I would ask the council to waive the fee, as the people who made this decision have not completely considered my reasonable accommodation request or believe what I have submitted in that request. They have made their decision without direct knowledge of the situation. I offered to the council to come sit in my spare wheelchair and try to park my vehicles in the garage and get the wheelchair in and out and transfer into the chair, and then try to move a sheet of plywood from the driveway to the backyard using a wheelchair. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Um,
And just,
Can I have a comment on permit, or I have to pay a fee to appeal this?
well, that's going to be up to the administration, but for the record, I want to let everybody know that you sent letters to every council member, all the council people have read it, and also we read Inez Peterson's correspondence, and we referred it all to the administration.
Can I ask what my next, I have until Friday. They gave me 2 weeks to appeal this, so what do I do?
Well, I guess that would be up to the city attorney.
Mayor, it appears that you're in, and Jennifer, you're back there, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It appears that you're in the appeal period, so you know that Friday's your date, and you have to file that through the city, through the appeal process. And I believe that you have an attorney that's written some letters, so you probably should
Inez
consult.
Peterson.
Yeah, I think you should consult your own attorney as to your legal advice about how to file that appeal and what you need to do it.
Do I come down to the city clerk's office and I mean, do I just put on a piece of paper, I'm appealing this and pay money, or I don't understand what I do?
So it would be inappropriate for me to tell you how to file your appeal because you have an attorney on board. Jennifer is
Well-
shaking her head back there that says, yes, come to the city and there's an appeal process. Where does he need to go? To the city clerk's office.
Okay. And then Inez Peterson, she wrote a letter that was asking to be read into the record after my
And the city has
statement.
received this. I don't believe they're going to read into the record because that doesn't necessarily deal with your appeal at this point. This isn't a council meeting or hearing on the appeal, so you did give everybody a copy of her letters as well, though.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm frustrated, I need help.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Is there any items that council member wishes to remove?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to remove item D.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Wiki?
I move that we, Miss what?
Witchy.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as written minus item D.
Second.
Moved by Carol Ann, that Ms. Witchy, that the consent agenda be adopted minus item D, and seconded by Ed Prince. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, the council, the consent agenda is passed. Mr. Pavoni?
Yes, item D deals with the Willowcrest townhomes, and Finance has already seen this, this issue, and we know all about it. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks, so the project can continue to move forward. I'd like to make a motion that the council concur with
Item D?
item D.
Second.
Okay. Moved by Councilman Pavoni, seconded by Councilman Prince, that we concur in item D. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Seeing none, the motion passed. Next is unfinished, I can't even talk. Ms. Witchy?
Yes, I have one committee report from the Community Services Committee.
Okay, Community Services Committee report, July 1st, 2019, 2019 Neighborhood Project Grant Applications. The Community Services Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve funding for the selected 2019 Neighborhood Grant Project grantees. Neighborhood organization is South Renton Connection, that's $16,000. The Point Homeowners Association, $8,000. Barbie Mill HOA is $1,800, and La Crosse HOA, $14,595.52, for a total appropriation of $40,395.52. This is signed by the committee chair and members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that council adopt the Community Services Committee report.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Witchy, seconded by Mr. Corman, that the council adopt the committee report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Seeing no opposition, the motion passed. Anything else?
Nope, that is all.
Okay, Mr. McGurven,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pavoni,
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Finance Committee has 4 reports to be read tonight.
Okay, the Finance Committee approves the following payments for, this is approval of claims and payroll vouchers for July 1st, 2019. One, accounts payable, total payments of $5,713,478.31 for a number of vouchers and payroll benefit withholding vouchers, including 3 wire transfers. The vouchers are on file in the clerk's office. Payroll, total payment of $1,493,958.18 for payroll vouchers, including 702 direct deposits and 20 checks. This is the May 16th through 31 pay period. And Kidder Matthews, a total payment of $36,919.54. Yes, and it's signed by the committee chair and 1 member.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Pavoni.
I'd like to move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
All, second, moved and second, all in favor of the Finance Committee report?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passed.
Okay, the next is regarding allocation of lodging tax funding for 2019. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the allocations for the 2019 Lodging Tax Fund as recommended by the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee as follows. The LTAC selected community event sponsorships, $10,000. City of Renton Economic Development, which is the tourism mobile app development, $12,000. Northwest Entertainment Alliance Renton City Comic Con, $10,000. Return to Renton Car Show, $5,000. And the Washington State geocaching, that's $1,100 for a total recommendation of $38,100. The committee further recommends authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute any contracts necessary with the successful applicants to expend budgeted funds on the proposed additional marketing initiatives. This is signed by the committee chair and vice chair.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Pavoni.
yes, this is our second round of LTAC funds. We actually had enough money to go ahead and go back to bring the group back together and hear some more, hear from some more people for possible allocations. And so we actually ended up funding quite a few really good events this year through the second funding cycle. So with that, I'd like to move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the council concur in the recommendation of the Finance Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, the next report is request to hire a Signal Electronic Systems Tech 2 at pay grade A17, Step E. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve hiring a Transportation Maintenance Division Signal Electronic Systems Technician 2 at pay grade A17, Step E. Hiring this position as a Signal Electronic Systems Tech 2 pay grade A17, Step E versus hiring at pay grade A21, Step C will not have a fiscal impact in 2019 or 2020 since the difference in salary and benefits result in net zero. This is signed by the committee chair and vice chair.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pavoni?
Yes, so this hire, not only is it a net zero, but very specialized training. He has 4 certifications that we don't have at this time in that department. So with that, I'd like to move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that the council concur in the recommendation of the Finance Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Okay, the final report is a request to hire Utility Systems Division Civil Engineer 3 at pay grade A29, Step D. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize hiring a Utilities Systems Division Surface Water Engineering Section Civil Engineer 3 at pay grade A29, Step D, effective August 1st, 2019. This request will reduce the division surface water utility 2019 budget by $6,165. This is signed by the committee chair and vice chair.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pavoni?
This is another very specialized position, and we're happy to fill it. With that, I would like to move that the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the council concur in the recommendation of the Finance Committee. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, that takes care of unfinished. Oh, Mr. Corman,
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
I was going to skip you, and Mr. Prince.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
I knew there was no more old business. Okay, we don't have any legislation tonight, so we'll start with new business. Ms. Witchy.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on Monday, July 8th, the Committee of the Whole meeting has been canceled.
Thank
That
you.
is all.
That it? That it? Mr. McGurven.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Pavoni.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Corman.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on July 8th, Monday, July 8th, we're also canceling the Public Safety Committee.
Thank you. That's it. Mr. Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, on Monday, July 8th, we are also canceling the Planning and Development Committee. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. What's the wishes
Move
of
we
the
adjourn.
council?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't have to ask for any opposition to that one, so it's motion passed.
And we are still having a council meeting.